Let's take another look at data import, and this time examine what happens when we have a data file that does have problems on importing. So here's data from an actual project, which is a roughly 15 megabyte file, fairly good size. We'll drag and drop that onto the sources icon. The import fails, and you can see down here in the job history button there's a exclamation mark that shows that there were importing errors, and when we click on details it says the format was not supported. Automatically there's a button here that says re-import failed files, or if you don't go into this dialog, that button is down here as well. When you click on that, it'll automatically open the import wizard to let you take another look at why the import went wrong. So when we look at the preview, which we previously did as well, to look at the red fields, we can see why the UT didn't import. And so in this case, for instance, the date time field in itself shows a string with the extension .xls. So obviously this was exported from some data source that appended the letters XLS to the actual timestamp, and the UT has a hard time reading that. Plus there are other items such as fields called normal off or even EMCS. So there are potentially automatic recognition methods that could be used for some of these, but there are never enough recognition methods to cover all the potential export methods that programs use. So in this case, what we would do is get out of the UT, look at the source file and clean it up, typically with something like Excel and find and replace. So here is the cleaned up data file, which we can examine here, and the date and time formats have been cleaned up, and for example all enables were changed to ones and disables changed to zeros and the like. So if we look at this file and import the cleaned up version, which we'll drag and drop, and then with Alt-Tab in Windows, switch over to the UT, drop it onto the sources folder. Now, instead of getting the immediate job history exclamation mark, we'll see the menu that says importing files down here running. And this took maybe 10-15 seconds. So here are all the source files that are now imported. There's about 250 files, or 250 individual channels here, and those are now imported correctly. The UT did import all these files with a file name prepended. If we don't want that, we can do this slightly differently. I'll throw out what we have imported just now, and then using the same file, we'll import by using the wizard. So I'll say import other, the menu that we had before. Look at the text file and select the file that I had just used. Except now, and I don't really have to look at these formats too much because I know that the file format will work, but where it says channel names, you can prepend the channel name with the file name, or you can append the file name as well to identify it from multiple data sets. If you don't want that, unclick this, say finish. It'll once again give the import file menu, and then the same 240 channels that we had imported just now will appear without the file prefix.